Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome to my channel. Well, I got done looking at Hyperdimensional Neptunia Rebirth 2 a few months ago, and then I pretty much jumped right into Rebirth 3. And then afterwards took a few months to actually do this video due to the fact that Castlevania and Contra collections came out. Anyways, after playing it, well, my opinions on number 3 are a bit mixed. Let's dive right into this mixed bag and tell you what I really liked and what I didn't really like about the third Rebirth game in the Hyperdimensional Neptunia series. Yeah, I'm going to do the gameplay first. If I want to talk about this game being a mixed bag, I have to start the review in this area. And I say it's a mixed bag because I don't know if I want to say that Rebirth 3 is the best or the worst of the Rebirth games. I will start off with the bad because it's something I complain about a lot when it comes to the mainline Neptunia games, and it rears its ugly head the most. There are absolutely no unique dungeons in this game. None at all. Now, I won't say new because I played the series out of order when it comes to Steam releases, and I'm pretty sure the city level is at least new to this game, but the rest of them were used in Rebirth 1 and 2, and the city stage here was definitely present again in Victory 2. So there are no new dungeons to explore, and it made the game feel like a slog to get through because I've seen everything before. And yes, I do know a lot of people are going to be telling me if you enjoy Neptunia games for the dungeons, it's kind of like saying you enjoy Mystery Science Theater 3000s for the movies they show, rather than the commentary that's provided. But this is still an annoying letdown for me. That said, it's not all bad. There have been some notable improvements when it comes to the battle system. These improvements may be minor, but they affected the game that I had to use some strategy in how I lined up my team just a little bit. The big difference is the EXP bar is gone, and now everything is done with just SP. Now, SP can still be gained from using rush attacks, but now that doing things like transforming takes quite a bit out of it, you really have to think about using your SP moves when and when not. And EXE moves either need to be done with the partner, meaning I had to worry about formation and Lily ranks for the first time in this series, or I have to complete certain challenges and plans to unlock them, and even then it takes a lot of SP to do a single EXE move. Again, I had to use quite a bit more strategy than I did in past Neptunia games, and it was done without overhauling the system altogether, so that is one thing I really liked about this game. If only this game had just a few unique dungeons to it. The fact that I can't just point to a dungeon and go, oh yeah, that's from Neptunia Rebirth 3, really does show a weakness in this game. Let's face it, most people play Neptunia for the storyline. What anime is this game going to be referencing? What game joke is going to be told? And what company is going to be roasted with a fourth wall break from our spunky protagonist? And yeah, in that aspect, the game story holds up really well. And it's nice to play a game with Neptune back in the protagonist spot. And no offense to Nepgear and her fans, who does become the quite a few jokes about her now being downgraded to support character from being main character in the last one. I liked Nepgear as the protag, but if the series is about meta humor, then you need to have a character you know can crack the fourth wall jokes, and that character in this series has always been Neptune. Anyways, let's discuss the plot, shall we? The game story begins with Histoire getting tired of Neptune's lazy antics and kicking her out of her temple, so to speak, until she gets her job done as a goddess. Neptune's laziness even ticks off Nepgear, making Neptune do her job alone. When Neptune bumps into a mysterious woman named Ray Wright, who somehow manages to open a portal to another dimension in another version of game industry, this one resembling the game industry more from the 90s to the early aughts, there she quickly befriends the other Planetoon's goddess Plutia. Now, Plutia has been a character I have been curious about, and I have seen the anime and I have played Sega Hard Girls, so I already know what she is. She is the Bruce Banner of the Neptune series. Except where Banner will turn into a green muscle-bound Hulk, this quiet, oftentimes half-asleep girl turns into a lesbian dominatrix. But it's pretty much the same thing. If Plutia gets mad at you, she will wreck your shit and everyone else's while she's at it. I am surprised this game didn't get an M rating. While the fan service is actually less than the original Neptunia and just a little bit more on the creep factor than the second one, some of Plutia's innuendos and rape jokes I am kind of surprised didn't earn this one an M rating, because there's some pretty far out there ones. Still, as much as the joke is played that Neptune and the others don't like Plutia when she's angry, it really never got old to me. Anyways, from there the game unfolds over a 30-year time frame, which is only 1 month in Neptunia's home dimension storyline. And we see people like IF and Kampa come into the world and grow up. And eventually Nepgear does come and join the party. The other dimensional characters are for the most part the same type of people and personality we have seen in the last few games. Blanc is still the quiet one until she gets mad and then turns into a cussing, screaming monster. Noir is still a Sunandre, and Vert is still an otaku. When it comes to the humor, the references and just the commentary on geek culture are still here too, and they're well done. From the villains being a big businessman, cybercriminal, and of course we do have R4 and Warchu representing the whole piracy thing. It doesn't get too preachy unlike the last game though, and the commentary manages to drive its point home without becoming overly preachy, and does a better job because of that. There are some really good gags about how the console manufacturers used to treat each other in the 90s. Nowadays, most fanboy wars are started by, well, the fanboys themselves looking for clickbait. Back then, Sega and Nintendo really did hate each other on a corporate level, and Plutia's psychotic nature is a part of this representation and the joke on it. And since Neptune is now back in the steering wheel spot, they can also throw in jokes on the fact that the original PS3 model was often mocked for looking like a portable grill and other really great barbs at the game industry. I just loved it. Overall, I enjoyed the stories and I loved the jokes in this installment. The story was just really good. It's the best out of the three in my opinion. Is it good enough to make up for the fact that there's still nothing new in the dungeons? And no, but it still brought a smile to my face, and like I said, it is the best Neptunia game when it comes to the story and the jokes. Graphically, the characters do have some new designs, and again, I do like them. From Neptune having more of a skirt than her old coat, to Blanc dressing more like a Japanese shrine maiden with a Famicom color palette, and Noir's 90s pop girls, and Vert's new old-fashioned looks were pretty good as well. But outside of that, you're not going to encounter anything new or even wowing in this one. Again, repeat dungeons and repeat enemy designs. The game stopped holding my interest in the visual departments only about 20% of the way in, and that is a huge problem with this game and game series. There's nothing new to really hold my interest, and it's easy to get disinterested when it comes to the gameplay sections. Yeah, not much new in the music department. If you like the soundtrack of past Neptunia games, you're going to enjoy the soundtrack here. If not, well, you're not going to like the soundtrack here either, because it's pretty much the same thing.
Then that rodent. I get the same brain tingle from the old lady, too. Like she's been slapped on my heart's Akashic record.
Hyperdimensional Neptunia Mark III is either the worst game in the series or the best of the 3 Rebirth games that I have played. Story-wise, it's almost perfect. The story is funny as hell. It gets all the right beats. If you enjoy Neptunia for its narrative, you'll love it here. Gameplay-wise, there's nothing really frustrating or broken about the gameplay. There's just nothing really new here. Yeah, they changed some of the battle system and made it better, but there's no new dungeons, no new enemies. Everything is just repeated from the last game. It's just lazy, and it made the game a bit more of a slog than it should have in the gameplay. department. If the gameplay was just as new and as fresh as some of the story beats, I would have enjoyed it more, but since there wasn't much new here, it kind of became a slog. So this is the most mixed bag out of all the Neptunia games I've played so far. It's worth getting if you can find it for like under $10 during a Steam sale. I would definitely not pay $15, $20, or $30 for this one. At any rate, this is Tommy the Game Master, thanking you for listening to this video. I'll see you guys later.